Hello, today we're going to work on strictly independent events and we'll get to dependent at a later time. So independent events, it's one event that does not affect the outcome of the other event. So does not affect the outcome of the other. In this case, you can see down at the bottom or underneath we have a number cube and it's numbered 1 through 6, and we have 5 different cards. So those are two separate events. Sometimes we do the same thing, like toss a coin and then toss a coin again. There's two events. In this case, these two events are different. But what you may notice also is that it's written differently than what we did yesterday. So you may recall from our notes that one of the sections in our notes had it written like this: P for probability of the first event, and then it said and the second event. So that's what they're actually giving us. So in this first example, it's a probability of rolling a 5, which is the first event, and choosing black card, which is our second event. And it's separated either by the word and sometimes they use a comma. So let's see what we can do. We're going to do 4 together, and I'm going to ask you to do 4 on your own. So the probability of landing on a 5 if I rolled the dice, well, there's 1 5 out of 6 sides on that cube. And we learned yesterday that we multiply. And now I'm going to look at the cards, and I'm looking for a black card. There's 1 black card out of 5 total cards. So I'm going to write 1 out of 5. And we're going to multiply straight across. And so the probability equals 1 out of 30, and we can't reduce. So now I'd like you to try 2, so circle that. You're going to do that on your own, but let's continue right now. I'm going to skip 2 and 3, which I'd like you to do on your own, and we're going to go to 4. 4 says 1 or 4. So I could roll either a 1, there's 1 1 on the die, or a 4, there's 1 4 on the die. So that's 2 altogether. So I have 2 choices out of the 6 sides. I see and, so I'm going to multiply. And now the next event, choosing a card, says yellow. Well, I see 1 yellow card out of 5. So again, I'm going to write 1 out of 5. So we're going to multiply. Now you could at this point reduce this. If you'd like to reduce it, it would reduce to 1/3 if you divided both by 2. Or you can just multiply straight across. I'm going to choose to do that for the sake of being consistent right now. So I'm going to have 2 out of 30. And now I need to reduce, which would mean that I would reduce by dividing by 2, which is what I could have done before I multiplied. And that gives us 1 out of 15. Again, you can use your calculator on this if you prefer. So we're now going to skip down to number 5, and we're going to do number 5 together because it's a little bit worded kind of uniquely. It says not 3 and not red. So we're going to ask ourselves, how many sides on this number cube are not the number 3? Well, one side is the number 3 and all the other sides are not 3. So that would be 5 out of 6. So 5 out of 6. And then and now this time it says not red. So I see 1 red card out of all these cards. So green, yellow, blue, and black are not red. So that is 4 cards out of 5 that are not red. Again, this would be a great place to cross cancel. I could divide 5 by 5 here and get 1, and I could divide 2 into both of these, but again, I'm going to go ahead and multiply. For those of you who are uncomfortable with cross canceling, we're going to get 20 out of 30, which would mean we can reduce by dividing by 10. That's a common factor, and we would end up getting 2/3. Okay, so I'd like you to try number 6 on your own, and then number 7 on your own, and we're going to go to number 8. Number 8 is kind of written a little bit differently. Instead of using the word and, it has a comma. So this is still the first event, this is the second event. So even numbers would be 2, 4, 6 on the die. So that means that we can get 3 even numbers. We're going to multiply, and now it says blue. Well, there's 1 blue card out of 5, so that'd be 1 out of 5. And again, 3 out of 6 we could reduce to 1/2, which would make our lives easier if we reduce before we multiply. Or we can multiply straight across and get 3 out of, 30. And now, when we reduce afterwards, we're just working with bigger numbers. 3 divided by 3 would give us 1, and 30 divided by 3 would give us 10. So thanks for listening, and try the other 4 problems on your own, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Thank you.